Mike Baker's here. He's chuckling away on the right-hand side of your screen there. Mike, you're a former covert CIA operations guy. It looks to us, from a distance, like we're going to have a civil war in Venezuela right on our doorstep. Would you disagree with that?
No, it looks like it from close up, too. Look, I've done a lot of work in Venezuela over the years with my company, and it's been several years in the making. It has been a crumbling situation that's starting to come to a head because I think at the end of the day, a population can only suffer so much before they rise up. And they're talking about, well, look at these protests and some of the violence that's occurred since, the spring of this year. This problem has been building for a long time. A crumbling economy, a complete lack of basic goods in the stores for the population. Crime activity has been skyrocketing. It is a miserable existence for the average citizen in Venezuela. And it has been that way, not just since Maduro took over from Chavez, but during Chavez's time as well.
But the only way to get rid of the Maduro government, because they're going to hold on forever, it's going to be an armed insurrection. I'm not forecasting this, I'm not suggesting it, but there are guns and weapons all over Venezuela, currently in the hands of the government. It doesn't take much to imagine them, some of them getting into the hands of the opposition, and you really do have a hot war, civil war. And it could come to a head this weekend.
Right. Look, if Maduro is insane enough to push forward, and I think he is insane enough, frankly, but if he pushes forward with this rewrite of the Constitution that millions of citizens there in Venezuela have come out against, then I think that's the tipping point. I think that's where we start to see this, not just in occasional street protests and a one-day strike here or there. I think we see this tip over into very large-scale, significant protests. Unfortunately, the potential for violence, as you pointed out, is there. Maduro has shown no reluctance to use his military and police to crack down on the citizens. So this thing could get ugly very, very quickly. I would hope that the U.S. and others would step in with extremely meaningful sanctions and very vocal opposition to Maduro. And I suspect that will happen unless our media here in the U.S. gets distracted by, I don't know, the Trump administration.
Or unless you guys quietly in the CIA, your former employer, do something behind the scenes and precipitate a change in government.
Stuart, you're not going there, are you?
No, I'm not going to go there. No.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Stuart. I have no idea. That old rube about the CIA being involved in government change. No, look, that's not going to happen. But we do need to take this very seriously. I think the current administration will take action that actually means something. But you're absolutely right. And Maduro is not going to go easily. But I mean, we've underestimated the ability of that population down there to suffer. And they've been suffering for a great period of time. The people there, anybody who's got the ability to, has moved their money and, frankly, their families out of Venezuela at this stage. But change is coming, I think, and Maduro is too obstinate to step out of the way.
Okay, I read a lot into what you're saying. Mike Baker, you're a former CIA guy, and we appreciate you being with us, and I hope you'll come back next week after this weekend's events. Mike, thank you very much indeed, sir.